Alright, welcome back to the second video of the module wherein we're going to talk about continuous delivery as a culture. Before that, in the last video, we got started with infrastructure testing in a nutshell. We talked about with the recent security glitches which happened across many of the major cloud provider, what infrastructure testing is, when you should practice, which are the tools available in the market, the likes of TerraTest, InSpec, and a lot of other tools, which we're going to use few of them in our upcoming videos as well. Before getting on the hands-on and demos, I thought to take us through what continuous delivery as a culture is. Many of us might also be practicing already, but few of the listeners might be pretty new to this vertical, and we want to make sure that continuous delivery is understood, because without continuous delivery, achieving automation, achieving automating the infrastructure testing is little difficult, because it pretty tightly infrastructure testing ties pretty tightly with your continuous delivery culture. So what it is, it's more of a culture which kind of binds your developer and operation system administrator tightly, so that your code is built, shipped, and deployed in a rapid automated way, so that your end users, customers, users could use that product and features in a rapid space. So what it is, it's a process where code changes are automatically built, tested, and prepared for a release to production. It's a software development or infrastructure development discipline where you build your infrastructure or software. In this case, it's going to be infrastructure which can be used to be released to production anytime. Your deployment has to be a push button deployment, which means that you have configured the continuous integration and then delivery, and anybody in the team, be it product owner, business analyst, developer, tester, anybody should be able to just click a button, and then your software or infrastructure is ready to be pushed to a particular environment, maybe dev, non-prod, or production, whatever deemed appropriate. It's a deployment, which means any changes which goes into the pipeline and automatically gets into production without any manual intervention. So what's the workflow? If you're kind of following all of these five major steps, maybe if majority of them are being practiced at your organization or your project in a team, then you're kind of following the continuous delivery model. So it starts with the code changes. A developer or an infrastructure engineer makes a code or a config change. He pushes his or her code onto a source code repository over here, and then the CI platform, likes of Jenkins, Azure DevOps, TeamCity, would build it as an artifact. Artifact is nothing but your code packaged in a form of a zip file, or a folder rather. And then you have your testing. In this case, our testing would be infrastructure testing, and generally it would be unit or integration testing, which is run for your application. We're going to send out a report to our admins that if the build has been successfully built or not, and once it has been built successfully, we're going to commit it and deploy onto the production. That's pretty much the flow. In terms of high level flow, it's pretty much the same. You have multiple environments, and this is how you kind of do it for multiple environments. You've got your source code, built it for a staging environment, deployed on your staging, and then it goes to the production. And in between, after every stages, what you're going to have is your infrastructure testing. In our case, after dev, non-prod, we would have an infrastructure testing. If the testing succeeds for dev, then only the pipeline going to move on to the next one, which is non-prod or prod. And after running onto the prod, we're going to run the test again and make sure that whatever we have deployed, whatever changes we have done, are kind of are passed, and then only our pipeline looks green. So what are the teams uses, the tools which generally used by teams to configure their continuous delivery for their infrastructure or application? These are a few of the tools which are highly used by the community, likes of Jenkins, Azure DevOps, again a product from Microsoft, GitLab. Recently they've launched their CI/CD platform as well. Octopus Deploy, pretty famous only for the delivery purpose. There's a tool from Go as well, and then Concourse, which is used again for CD platform. All right, that's about it. We discussed about a continuous delivery as a culture, why it's important, and how it is kind of related to your infrastructure testing. Because if you don't have a continuous delivery, it's going to be really difficult to achieve an infrastructure testing as a practice as well. What are the tools and processes which how do you lay out the process? We saw how we start from building your code, then deploying onto the dev environment, run a test, notify your admin whenever the test or the build has failed, and then deploy it to the production. So make sure to have automated tests running after each and every environment before landing onto the production. Tool of the trade, different set of tools available in the market to test or mock your infrastructure. Delivery tools like Concourse, Azure DevOps, Jenkins, TeamCity. Generally TeamCity is used for CI, and Octopus Deploy, and a lot of other tools as well. That's it for now. In the next video, we're gonna get started with the hands-on demo, wherein we're gonna create a bunch of infrastructure on Azure using Pulumi and Terraform, and then we're gonna mock those infrastructure using our infrastructure testing as a code. I hope this was informative. I'll see you in a while. Thank you.